a genius trick for cooking ground beef that everyone should know. I'll start here by cutting the potatoes, which will be the base for our flavorful homemade mashed potatoes. I'm going to use 4 medium potatoes, which will give the recipe the perfect texture. A creamy mashed potato pairs perfectly with the beef, making the dish well-balanced. I'm going to cut the potatoes into small pieces. Now we'll put them to cook in a pot with hot water. I'll add the potatoes to the pot carefully to avoid splashing the water. I'll add enough water to fully cover the potatoes so they cook evenly. The water is already hot to speed up the cooking. It really helps. I'm going to cover the pot to keep the heat in longer. I'll let the potatoes cook for about 15 minutes until they're nice and soft. Now, in a bowl, I'm going to add 1 kilogram of high-quality ground beef. I'm starting with 1 onion finely diced. I'll add 1 whole egg. Then I'll season with 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm also adding 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, which adds both flavor and a nice color. I'll also add half a cup of breadcrumbs, which help hold everything together. Now just mix everything thoroughly using your hands to blend the seasonings. Mixing by hand ensures all the ingredients are evenly distributed. That way the seasoning really soaks in and the meat is more flavorful. Mix until everything is fully combined, with no loose or under-seasoned parts. Now I'm going to transfer the seasoned beef onto a board covered with parchment paper. I'm placing all the beef onto the parchment paper. This makes shaping much easier. Let's spread the beef into an even layer to shape our setup. Now, using my hands, I'll spread the beef evenly to smooth it out until it's fully arranged here, covering the board well. Avoid forming air bubbles under the paper. This helps keep the beef flat and firm. I've adjusted all my beef on top of the paper. It's well spread out now. Now I'm going to use this cooling rack to make the markings on the beef. This will make sure all the portions are the same size. I'm pressing the rack down firmly to create evenly spaced divisions. I pressed it down and the marks are clear. Now I can easily separate them. Now I'll carefully cut along the divisions I made. I remove the pieces gently to keep their shape intact. Now I have 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce. I'll season this sauce with half a teaspoon of salt to enhance the flavor. I'll add 1 teaspoon of oregano, which gives it a wonderful aroma, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which adds a nice touch and improves the texture. Mix everything really well until the sauce is thick and flavorful. This is a delicious sauce to pair with our beef and potato setup. Mixed well? Perfect. It's ready and I'll set it aside. Now the potatoes are cooked, soft, and ready for the next step. I'll turn off the heat, drain the water, and transfer them to a larger bowl. Now I'll add the potatoes to this large bowl where we'll prepare the mash. To season, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of butter, which makes everything creamier, 1 teaspoon of salt to boost the flavor, and a pinch of black pepper. Now mash the hot potatoes thoroughly so the butter melts and mixes in better. I've already mashed the potatoes well. Now they're smooth and creamy. Look, it's well mashed with a great texture for assembling. I'll remove the masher, and now let's assemble the dish. To begin assembly, I'm using a glass baking dish. I drizzle some olive oil and spread it over the bottom and sides of the dish. This prevents the mashed potatoes from sticking and adds a little extra flavor. Now I'll take our mashed potatoes and add them to the bottom of the dish. I spread the mash evenly to level it out, covering the entire base. Spread it gently to make the bottom look smooth and even. Now I'll add our seasoned sauce, which is full of flavor. I spoon the sauce over the mash and spread it evenly to cover the whole surface. Next, I take the beef portions and carefully place them on top of the sauce. Distribute them evenly, filling the dish with the shaped pieces. This beef and mashed potato combo is delicious, perfect for any meal. A different way to prepare ground beef that surprises with flavor. I've layered the mash, the sauce, and now the beef portions on top. Now I cover everything with aluminum foil, sealing it tightly to steam while baking. I bake it in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. We've just taken the beef out of the oven, and the smell is amazing. Now I'm going to top it with mozzarella cheese to melt and brown. Melted cheese makes everything creamier and tastier. I brushed with olive oil again and spread the cheese evenly on top. I return it to the oven for 15 minutes to melt and brown the cheese completely. A quick and easy recipe that pleases the whole family. And look, we've taken it out of the oven and it looks fantastic, golden on top. Gratinated cheese, juicy beef, and creamy mash. A full and delicious dish. Now just serve and enjoy this irresistible combination.